Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Welcome back to Midnight Media. This week we're doing the 2008 film Repo, the Genetic Opera. Do I do my thing? Would you like to start us off, Garrett?
Sure. Repo, the Genetic Opera is a rock opera from 2008. It follows a story of a post-apocalyptic dystopian society where there's an organ failure epidemic, and the mega corporation Gene Co. started renting people organs, much like you rent your car, and God forbid you can no longer afford your organs, they send the Repo Man to kill you. And the story follows the Roddy Largo, the leader of the mega corporation Gene Co., and his pursuit in finding a suitable heir to the company, because as I quote from the movie, the man who saved the world cannot save himself.
Oh,
Nice.
very true.
Who plays Roddy Largo? He's a pretty famous actor.
Way to go.
I'm going to derail this episode 17 times.
So the film was directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who also did 4 Saw films, 2, 3, 4, and Spiral.
Which is kind of cool, seeing as he went from really gritty horror, like dark, and did a music. It is still gory.
And this is only one of his 2 musicals. He did another one with the same writer.
That's cool.
4 years later, in
That shows
2012.
range. That shows range,
He's
ladies and
also
gentlemen.
run a few ARGs,
What's that?
augmented reality games.
I'm sure those are disgusting to play.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Is that different from virtual reality games?
Yeah, it's completely
Yeah, because it's the real world you see, but it puts stuff on it.
Like
well,
Pokemon
no,
Go.
that's augmented reality, but an ARG
Okay.
is more like
ARG.
it's
Pirate
more like a
games.
pirate thing. No, like you
Pirating
read
is not a victimless
stuff on the
crime.
internet.
If I put on your Valve Index and you take me to the back rooms, I'm down. Do you know what the back rooms are?
Yes. Yes. Did you know that they're actually just paid the guy? Well, not paid, but they gave him a production company is involved with him to make an actual film.
I hope it's cool.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job.
The
However-
backrooms have been ruined by people trying to add more lore to it.
Well, if you just cut it off.
I think it's dumb. It used to be, you just fall into this alternate reality and you're in the backrooms. Now there's like monsters and different levels. I think it's dumb.
I as well know what the backrooms are.
Alright, anyways.
So, Repo. Yeah, I mean,
So it stars Alexa Vega, who you may know from like 4 different Spy Kids films. She's the
Yeah.
Spy Kids film.
She's in Spy Kids?
Yeah.
is.
Oh
the Spy
my
Kids
god, how the
lady.
mighty have fallen.
Well, she was in Spy
do you
Kids
mean?
before this.
This is a more mature role.
Wait, oh, okay. I thought
Spy
you went
Kids
from this to
child.
Spy Kids.
No.
She did do a sequel after, I think, right?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
But she
Oh, how
wasn't
the
Spy
mighty
Kids
have
girl
risen.
anymore. They
How would she
recast
have
that.
de-aged?
Well, they
I don't know. I don't remember the Spy Kids.
Shark Boy and Llama Girl?
That's
I've never
different?
seen that in my entire
Is that
life.
different?
Yeah, but I always thought it was very similar. I don't know.
same director, but it was a different movie.
Ah,
Anyways, Repo, the Genetic Opera. Yeah, no, it was a strange movie. So some of the music was fun, but I had an issue with the lyrics.
it did feel underwritten in
Yeah,
a sense.
yeah.
In some places.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. There's the one
No,
song
no,
that's
yeah.
a true banger.
Wait,
Yes.
which one?
The,
The Zydrate.
Oh, Zydrate
The
and
Zydrate
Abby?
song.
Oh, I bumped,
Yeah.
that's on my playlist. I bumped that in my car.
Zydrate comes in a little glass vial,
A little glass vial?
and the little glass vial goes into the gun like a battery. And the Zydrate gun goes somewhere against your anatomy. And when the gun goes off, it sparks and you're ready for surgery. Surgery.
that's just a good song.
I love that song, you're like, and Legal Assassin, or like anything with is it Anthony Stewart that plays the Repo
Yes,
Man?
yes,
Yes,
Anthony
anything
Stewart
with the Repo Man.
Who was
Mwah.
Giles
Peak
in Buffy.
cinema.
Where did our daughter go? It's me she must escape.
my burdens I can't erase, the mother I might have saved.
But I do understand what Josh is saying. There were some lines that, like, it was like they could have just not sang those and spoke them, and it would have kind of been better.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My issue was that, to me, it felt like with a regular musical, there's the speaking parts and then
And
there's
singing,
the singing.
yeah.
But
Yes.
there was no speaking part. I think there was one line in the entire movie that was actually spoken and not sung.
Of an old friend, a ghost from your past.
That's completely untrue.
Yeah, I feel like I remember there being more than that.
There's quite a bit of spoken stuff.
I would say quite a bit.
I don't
I
know.
would say, like,
I only remember one line that wasn't spoken because it stood. I mean, that was spoken because it stood out to me, and it was
Interesting.
some like random line said by Roddy. He was like, "Oh, hi, girl," something like that, and everything else had like a sing-song vibe to it.
Seeing you to stirs memories.
at least a subtle one.
Yeah,
It may
yeah.
not have been full song, but like, you know.
My problem with a lot of lyrics is it felt like they wrote a script like regular dialogue and then we're told to like sing it.
Yeah.
As opposed
yeah.
to writing songs that serve
Yeah.
the story.
Well, you can definitely tell when it cuts into a written song,
Right.
Because
Yes.
those are certainly like more put together. But yeah, it seems like maybe the dialogue wasn't originally sing-songy, and then they made it to be.
See, when I watched that movie, like, I understand what you guys are saying, but the charm of it and the
Oh,
just
yes.
raw campiness of it
Yes,
completely
for sure.
overrides all this. So I'm not watching it to be like, is this good cinema? I'm watching it because it's an experience.
Yes, and I do agree with that. And
Well, I
honestly,
think
John
you
would
would
call it.
you enjoy the experience because it is good cinema. I think that's just our small critique of it, or my small critique, because I think it was good.
Well, in my opinion, I thought it was a great story. And what bothered me is that I was annoyed that this great story was stuck in this musical, basically.
I knew he was going to say
Yes,
that. I called it.
This man
I
hates
called
musicals.
Josh's opinion.
It would have been good, but there was all this singing in it.
I get that it takes away from the horror element.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
It's not.
I'd like the rock opera more if it was not an opera
Yeah, exactly.
and just a rock.
No. What I'm saying is that there was sections in a regular musical where they speak, but there was none of that, so it didn't feel like a movie to me.
And
which
my-
is actually, it was based on a stage play, which is
Yeah,
why.
from 2002.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
which is why it wasn't a movie. It was a stage play that they adapted into a film.
Well, the stage play was also a musical, was it not?
Yeah.
Yes, no, but I'm saying in a movie, that's why they have the talking bits. You know what I mean?
Am I the only one that recognizes there was plenty of talking bits?
Drug market, submarket. Sometimes I wonder why I ever got in. Blood market, love market. Sometimes I wonder why they need me at all.
I feel like there is more.
There was no talking bits. It was all singing except for like one or maybe two lines.
I've seen this movie several times, but it's been a while since my last viewing of it, so I can't remember for certain. But like,
I think the confusion is because there are scenes where they start and it seems like they're just speaking, and then it slowly builds into song.
I had my first surgery when I was 13. And thanks to Z, I couldn't feel or remember a thing.
So it's hard to see where that line is of where that dialogue became music.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if you just listen to the soundtrack, like the I don't know if you want to call it an album from front to back, there would be weird jumps because there is dialogue missing.
Yes.
So evidently there's more than just the one line, but it's definitely every scene I think has a song in it.
Right, it builds into the song, basically.
There's 51 songs in total
Which
over
is
the
insane.
97-minute runtime.
Yeah, but no, what I'm saying is that when they're not singing a song, it's still singy. Like all the regular dialogue
Like
is
his
like
Swedish.
Melodic.
It's very theatrical.
yeah, they're
Yes,
like,
yeah,
hello,
yeah.
my daughter, how are you? You know, it's not a song, but they're still singing the dialogue.
They are more stage acting than film acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's on purpose. It's supposed to be that way.
It's part of the charm.
Yeah. I will say, and this surprised me, I liked Paris Hilton. I thought
Yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah.
Amber Sweet.
Yeah.
Amber
I was
Sweet was
really
great.
surprised.
What I said when we were watching it in our watch party that Josh ditched out on.
I had to
said-
give my mother
I-
a gun.
Jesus
was a
Christ,
horrible
don't say that
idea.
on there.
Say it for posterity. Everyone will know. And I would like to say that was
POV or
against.
Josh's mom.
Anyways, I was like, I found it funny and also a strong character for Paris Hilton to play this role who's, she was often accused of having a lot of plastic surgery. I don't know if she ever really did.
Doesn't look like it.
That could have been interpreted as rude.
Could have been.
But so she took this role of this character who's literally addicted to it to the point where her face falls off. And so I thought that was like a really kind of awesome thing about her as a person that she was like, yeah, I'll take that role.
Yeah.
Like,
And then her acting was just
good.
far better than I expected.
Yeah, and
She was not the worst actor. in the
She
film.
sang too her songs, right?
Yeah, her singing was better than I expected too. Having heard her
Yeah.
pop song, it was on the radio when we were younger.
What I will say
that
is,
song
in my
sucks.
opinion, the worst actor in the film was the Spy Kids girl. I just thought she wasn't very good.
Oh, Shiloh?
Yeah.
I mean, there's that one scene where she, like, yeah.
her name was Shiloh.
It is
Shiloh.
Shiloh.
Did I call her Shiloh? Whatever. The child's name, who's unbeknownst to me, she has that one scene where she like rocks out in her bedroom. I thought that was
That's where
weird.
we get the Joan Jett. scene.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that was Joan Jett?
That was Joan Jett.
Oh my
And
god. That's crazy. I thought. Wow.
Yeah, that was
'Cause she does
everyone's
that, like,
reaction.
eye
Playing the
thing,
bass
you know?
thing, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's reaction was like, "Oh, she looks so familiar. Who was that?"
That's so funny.
If I could wink, I would.
No, I mean, yeah, I just thought the Spy Kids girl wasn't great. You know, I didn't.
I would like to see. So she was on Broadway in a production of Hairspray. I would like to see clips of that.
But now I've tasted chocolate and I'll never going back.
However, you just threw me in a tailspin. Now we're off track.
So I guess while we're off track, I'll speak to the capitalist hellscape.
Yes, I like the
It was
idea that
well
everyone's
depicted, and
trapped.
wherein the police work for the highest bidder, which is very different from.
Well, they were called
now.
GeneCo guards. They
They
weren't
were-
even
they were
cops. There
GeneCo
was no
cops.
cops. Like,
Also, the looters will be shot on site
was
per
grave
order
robbers.
of grave robbers.
Yeah.
Per order of GeneCo, and it's like, wow. So he didn't just make it so people can buy organs. They said he lobbied Congress for that. He also made it so he can just do summary executions.
right.
And then
Yeah.
on top of that, the blind woman,
Blind man.
Oh, Blind Mag, yeah.
yeah, Blind Mag, she's like an indentured servant,
Yeah, so
her eyes?
she's like
which is against the 13th Amendment.
basically gotta perform whatever he wants or like just do whatever she says and pay payments or whatever.
She sings opera
Oh.
for them. She's like a.
Yeah.
She's like
She does the genetic opera.
the spokesperson of GeneCo, kind
Yeah.
of like their face a little bit.
Can I just say two things? First off, he had something that he pointed out that I wanted to ask you guys about because I was really confused. He was talking about at the beginning the Zydrate.
Oh,
he was
Comes in
saying
a little glass vial.
The little Beatles. Little
yeah,
glass
he
vial.
said that they
You put it
explained
in a
at
gun
the
like a
beginning
battery.
that the
The battery,
that the
no, the gun
bugs
goes somewhere against your anatomy.
have that's how they make it.
What?
No, I was wrong. You corrected me.
I was confused because he looks like he's sucking Zydrate out of corpses when
Yeah,
he's grave
I know.
robbing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
So the bugs go into the brains of the people and suck the Zydrate out of the brains, and then he goes and he sucks the Zydrate out of the bugs that are in the brain.
That's why he puts it up their nose.
Yeah.
What
Because
is
it's,
They
bugs?
explain that in the film.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
what I
it's in
was
the
saying.
very beginning and it's dropped really quickly and I think it was, if I remember correctly, it had something to do with Lionsgate taking over production and being like, yeah, we don't need that anymore.
Oh,
Like,
so they cut that part
like you know
out.
that Sheila finds the little bug down in the
Sheila.
tomb, and she's like in her book.
Oh,
with
that
it.
was one of
That's
them.
one of the bugs, and that's what like Grave Robber's job is to go around getting Zydrate illegally,
Right.
which he then sells to Amber Sweet for.
Or anybody.
Well,
Or the
so
street
he-
hookers. Excuse me, working women. Also, the one scene where they botch her surgery, and she's like, "I'm hideous now," and she turns as like some scars. I was like, "Would."
Yeah.
Maybe cut that part out. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we should all get together over one mic.
Paris Hilton would always have consent in my bedroom.
My name is Paris Hilton. I'm from Bel Air, California. I have a degree in men.
I don't want to get too far off track. Or maybe there's no saving now. Did you notice the digital blood effects?
Oh God, those were rough.
Oh my god, they stabbed me in the eyes. It was so bad.
I'm surprised
movie
Josh,
is
that wasn't the
atrocious.
first thing out of Josh's mouth.
Right?
They oscillated between practical and CGI blood. And
But
the
when they did
CGI
spurts, it seemed like they went for the CGI, and there were a couple of them that were so obvious and bad. It looked like the home.
That movie was
Films we used to make.
so gory, it wasn't gory. If that makes any sense. Like the gore didn't have any impact because the entire movie.
Well, you just
I mean,
get
the last
comfortable.
film we watched was Martyrs, so
Yeah, it really wasn't that gory to me.
Oh
But
well.
then again,
Nobody
I mean,
lost their
the type
skin.
of stuff that I
Well,
watch on a
all of
regular
Yeah.
basis.
See,
He does disembowel a tied-up man and pull his organs out on camera.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
but-
while saying that he's going to make a hole and
No, not that guy. When the Repo Man sings his song, he guts a guy and is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pulling his organs out through his stomach.
what did you guys
Yeah.
think of the if there's not a hole to do nefarious things to, he will
Jayson
cut
had
a
very
hole and make it.
enthusiastic feelings about that line.
Find a hole and fuck it. If there ain't one, I will make one. Luigi, don't take shit from no one.
I was enthusiastic about that line.
So Roddy Largo, the owner of GeneCo, founder of GeneCo, has
There should have been more.
His name should have been Roddy Weiler.
No, that's horrible.
no, he has 3 kids and he hates all of
At
them.
least you got it.
Luigi, Pavi, and Amber Sweet.
Amber Sweet changed her last name from Largo to Sweet, and he hated that as well. And she
Yep.
also is addicted to plastic surgery. I liked how the 2 sons, one was, and they only subtly hint at this, one is supposed to be brains and one is supposed to be heart, because in that song, when he has that line, he plays with the brain and the other one has women all over him and he has the heart. And he's saying, I'm smarter than you. And potentially, Pavi, this is an Easter egg, ladies and gentlemen. There's a scene where he's being pleasured by 2 working women at the same time, and it kind of hints that maybe he's
He living my dream for real.
double stacked, like he got an extra member.
Yeah, no. I don't know. I was just gonna comment on your digital blood thing.
Yes.
Like for me, so the film came out in 2008, and the effects are 2008. But one of the things that I noticed, and this is probably what distracted me from the digital effects, was the bloom effect that they had.
Oh
on
my
everything.
god, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything looked like a late 90s or early 2000s like music video. Just that crazy soft glow on everything.
That was
Oh,
purposeful,
yeah.
but Josh, how did you feel about it?
It was a bloom effect. That's what it's called, and I know why they did it. They did it to match the digital effects and to give it a certain look.
Yeah, to make it look kind of like cloudy, distant, dreamy, a little bit like
yeah, exactly.
ethereal.
But I hated it.
Really?
I just hate the super bloom effect because you can get that dystopian look practically. Have you guys ever seen The Crow?
Of course.
Russell Crowe?
Jesus.
The old one, right?
Just for everyone to know, our guest today is a baby. He's 19, and
That's why we put him in the helmet.
that's why we put him in the
It's my
helmet.
thinking cap.
He needs protection from the outside world, and he has seen nothing. So
You've seen Repo, the Genetic Opera. He was
I was
7
the
when it
I
came
was
out.
the
No, 5.
first person in this room, except for maybe Jack, to see Repo. But I was the first person
So
to
you certainly didn't
appreciate
see it when
Repo.
Jack did.
I'm the first person to
my son did.
appreciate Repo.
I saw it in theaters as a teenage emo because it had a
I'm old.
cult following, right?
whoa, burn!
Listen to me, young man.
But no, I was gonna say The Crow.
Take your arthritis
Jack,
pills,
have you
little
seen
man.
The Crow?
It's been a very long time.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is, in that film, they, it was made in 1993, so digital effects weren't really a thing. So it was all done practically. But
Say
they
that
gave
to
it.
George Lucas.
No.
They certainly hadn't come into their own.
No. But they gave that film, The Crow, a certain look, this like post-apocalyptic look, and it was all done practically. And it's set in a city, but it's like dystopian. It's like a dystopian, well, not kind of dystopian, but it's like a post-apocalyptic dystopian nightmare.
It's like New Jersey.
Give me a quick breakdown, because in my brain I'm confusing it with The Fly.
Those are
The
different
Crow?
things.
Yeah, what happens in The Crow?
The Crow is Brandon
bird.
Lee's best film. It's the only one he's known for.
Does
and
the
it was
man
about-
turn into a bird?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so.
that's
Yes,
fly.
the man turns into a bird and he takes poops on
Flight.
people.
A
for
phoenix,
flight.
actually.
No, it's actually an awesome movie. It's about this guy gets murdered when he's on Halloween night with his girlfriend. But then he comes back. He gets brought back to life by a crow, and then
Okay.
he basically can't die,
Odin's son.
and he just goes insane and kills people. It's the one with the guy who paints his face white.
Yeah, I feel like I did
It was
see
like
it way back.
it was like
Braveheart.
goth emo kid's like dream.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
Yeah, it was awesome. But anyways, the only reason I brought that up is because that's a dystopian kind of post-apocalyptic vibe done practically. And this movie was done digitally, so all of its post-apocalyptic, dystopian nightmare effects were done digitally. It kind of was trying to mimic a little Blade Runner with like the balloons
kind of
flying by.
Batman-ish a little bit.
Yeah. And I get why they did it. It was
Because it
2008.
was cheap. Oh, and cool.
It was
I
new.
guess.
Yeah, it was newish. Yeah.
Well, sort of, but they did it because they wanted to have this like giant city, and all this stuff happening in it, but they didn't have the budget to do it practically because, this was, it was a good film, it was a big film, but it was an independent film,
Yeah.
They only had like probably a couple $1 million, but
They
I
had
think
like
it first-
$8.5 million and was funded by Lionsgate.
I think it was
8.5.
after
They
that
picked
was.
it up.
I think it was originally premiered in a film festival.
yeah,
Yeah.
and $8.5 million is nothing.
No, I understand that, but you said a couple.
Paris Hilton was one of those millions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I just had I give them props for trying. They went out of their way to make this feel as big as they possibly could with not a lot to work with. I just don't like the digital bloom effect on everything, and
To
I feel
me,
like they
it
could
just
have turned it down when they were inside
Right?
and had it more of an outside feel, because it's supposed to be a bright lit, billboard lit up sign city.
I thought the graveyard set was great. I thought they did a great job with that.
They did, yeah. They didn't seem to have the
In
bloom so
general,
much.
I enjoyed the set design.
to
The
me
practical bits.
the effects just kind of left me feeling like I was experiencing a fever dream at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciated the practical gore effects a lot. I thought those were great when they were doing the digital
When they were
blood
there,
splits.
yeah.
I only saw the fake blood splurt 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
3
but
times,
that
yeah.
was enough.
But I didn't understand why they bothered using. I guess 2008 they were trying to flex, right? It was cool to have that in your film.
No, not necessarily. They were just trying
It
to.
sucked then too.
I just don't understand why they did it.
They were trying to.
Cheaper.
Well, yeah, it's cheaper for one.
Yeah.
Easier to
Because-
clean.
Well, every single the hell's it called? Squib
Yeah.
is like $1,000. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
can rig you up a squib way cheaper.
Sure, they have independent squibs that are like made out of garden hose and crap, but I'm saying like professional done squibs,
Yeah.
like they're really expensive.
Okay.
But anyways, they did it
Save.
because it's cheaper and it's easier to do. You can do a lot of it in post, and they were trying to mix practical with digital effects,
Right.
And I think they did a decent job. I appreciate that they didn't go all digital on the gore, which
Oh, that
I don't
would've-
think they could have.
that
at the
would have
time.
ruined it. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Have you ever seen The Thing, the 2016
Oh,
one?
jeez.
I also just want to say, not related, but I love the way that they made the Repo Man look like Batman. I thought that
Yeah.
was
Oh yeah,
awesome.
so Actually, Jack and I were talking about that. He looks like a Nazi scientist Batman.
Yeah, his costume is awesome.
Like the Riddler if he was... Yeah.
And Anthony Stewart Head was just so good.
Shall we do reviews?
11 out of
Leave
10.
this whole thing's a review.
Let's go. We went right to left last time. Let's do left to right.
You want to start with me?
Yeah.
All right. I liked this more this time. Obviously, I didn't remember everything from it when I watched it 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Almost 15? God, I am old.
Exactly.
Shit. So musicals, I kind of put in a different category than a regular film because they're obviously have a completely different structure. They're based on the songs, and those songs basically build the scenes.
That's not a great way to judge this film.
I'm just saying,
In my
like,
opinion.
I'm not judging it on that. I'm saying, like, that's how a musical is more structured, whereas
Yes,
a film
I understand.
is not so much. But I did enjoy it a lot. I think, I agree with Josh, wonderful story. Do I think it would have been better told not as a musical? No. Because you could tell a story however you want, it's how you do it. I think a non-musical version would be pretty killer. Like, it would be interesting to see how that would be.
It feels so different, though.
It would be a completely different film, though. Absolutely different. But
I think it would lose a lot of magic.
I liked the campiness of it. I liked that some of it's a little cheesy on purpose, that some of the lines of the songs are, as we said, a little cringe, but some are like just cringe enough to be like really likable a little bit, you know, like number, I'm gonna slap her with an 8. I'm gonna give her a big old 8. I liked it. And my favorite character is Paris Hilton. And I liked when her face fell off in front of the crowd. And then she just like
Go to horny jail.
No, I will agree. Paris Hilton was pretty cool.
Both of you, go to horny jail. We don't like women. Good man.
All right!
So, I really enjoyed it. I thought the set was fun. I liked the music. The lyrics, yeah, they could be a little weird sometimes, but when they worked, they really worked. And I don't know, I found myself bouncing around number-wise. But when I enjoyed it, it was a lot of fun, and I can only imagine what I would have thought seeing it in high school as a little emo boy. My favorite character has to be Nathan, played by Anthony Stewart Head, because Giles is amazing. But I also really enjoyed the grave robber, who was actually played by one of the writers of the film.
Oh, really?
Grave robber is
Yes.
cool.
We were saying we wished he had a bigger
I
part.
wish he had a bigger part.
But he's like he's like 75-80% narrator, 20% character.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Number wise, I'm gonna say 7.8.
I love this movie dearly. I'm gonna give it 2 numbers. I'm gonna give it a flavor win as like an 11 out of 10. The story's amazing, the characters are great, and it's beautifully campy and embraces it. Actual like quality of the film,
You gotta go with one number, bro.
I want to hear both of his numbers. We can have it.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it like a 7.5, so we'll just even it out to a 9.5.
Okay. All right.
Holy
I like
crap.
that. I like
I
that.
take it he likes this movie.
I have heard it.
I
from
have
his
seen it like
favorites. He
3 or
loves it
4
dearly.
times. I have some of its songs on my playlist.
Wow. All right. I appreciate that. I'm gonna say it's really funny that you can change Anthony Stewart's name if you put the word "give" in front of it.
Give Anthony Stewart.
I was thinking about that the whole time.
Am I dumb for not getting it?
No, it's dumb. It's dumb. There's nothing to get.
Say the word
Give
"give"
Anthony
and then say
Stewart
his name.
head.
Give Anthony Stewart.
Head.
His last name is
Jack, why are you always the last on these jokes?
Because they're not good.
Everybody's a
Out of
critic.
everyone, yeah. No, I mean, never said it was a bad movie.
But there was too much singing.
But 3 out of 10. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'd give it a solid 7.
All right, that's
okay,
more than I would expect. from
okay.
you.
I think they did a lot with a little, and
Yeah.
as a filmmaker, admire that. They made musicals
Indie
are not
filmmaker.
easy to make, you know, and they made an entire musical in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world for $8 million. That's impressive. With really good practical gore effects. So,
And they
props
used
to them.
I recommend the musical episode of Buffy.
Spike just doesn't mean a thing.
She ain't got that sweet.
Yeah, and also, I almost just called him Giles. Giles was great.
Yeah.
But on that note, guys, I think that's gonna do it for us. So tune in next time for awesome shows here at Midnight Media. So.
Signing off.
Good night. and
Long
good
live
luck.
the Emperor.
Long live the Emperor.